Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 18 in season 3 of my Nightmare series. This time I'm in the Crash Landing Pack by Iskandar. It's available on the Feed the Beast launcher. Last episode I was working on finishing up the pneumatic system here. I've got the basics of it ready to go. Now what I want to do this episode is start to work on the automation of it. So kind of want to get this so that I don't have to manually use this lever anymore. And I've got this pool of acid over here. I have a plan to automate the usage of this so that I won't actually have to stand around and wait for these circuits to complete. You see I do have one circuit made, so I could assemble that. Let's not do that just yet, because I might need that here in a second to help teach the machine that I'm about to build how to handle its said items. So let's get right into that. So what am I going to build? I'm going to build a s3e factory manager. So let's look that up. So first thing we're going to need is a manager. Oh, I'm just going to M-A-N-A-G-R there. Oh, there we go. That was odd. It wasn't quite showing me everything, so I just had to press previous, and then it showed up. So this is the first thing I'm going to need, which is going to take a block of redstone, piston, a couple pieces of smooth stone, and some iron. So let me gather all that. So redstone, I think that's dust. Smooth stone should be in that chest, but I know that my iron is out here, so let me come grab that. I'm going to need some iron to make that piston, and I'm going to need the iron for the factory manager and some more parts further along. So if I look in here, I might need some more glass. That could be an issue. Let me just grab some extra glass from, well, not glass, but sand. I have some sand set up out here for some future building that I want to put together. So I want to make some more steel, but that's kind of like maybe for next episode, so I don't think I'm going to get to that today. So let me pull the wood out and toss the sand in. We'll just go ahead and make half stacked glass because it definitely will get used up in the long run. And we'll just save that wood. Actually, I'm going to need a bit of it right away to make those pistons. That, and we're going to get that in my inventory and this. And now I should be able to click a piston in there and get a couple of them, actually, if I wanted, but I only need the one for now. I need a block of redstone. Redstone. There we go. Block of redstone. And now I should be able to make this. There we go. Machine Inventory Manager. Now this is the brain of s3e's Factory Manager. You need one of these for each factory system that you want to put together. And this can control quite a number of things. And I'll show you some of what is possible here in a second. So the next thing I'm going to need is some of these inventory cables. These are the basic cable part, and pretty much all the other cables are made from these to start with. So I need some of these first. So I'll need a couple of pressure plates. I don't know if I'm going to need more than 8 right off the bat, so let's just start with 8. Oh, I will need that glass. There we go. I did need 4 glass to just make the initial bundle of cables, so if I go ahead and put that in there, I'm going to need a redstone emitter and a redstone receiver. So the receiver is the cable with 1 redstone. The emitter is the cable with 3 redstone. And then there's one other part that I'm going to need, and I think I'm actually going to have to make a few other things. I want this item valve. So I'm going to need some hoppers. So let me go grab some aluminum. So I don't want to use up my iron on that now. Kind of already low on iron again. And I have tons of aluminum, so I'm going to be making all my hoppers from aluminum, since that is a possibility in this mod pack. And let me get, I need 2 hoppers. What is it? Yes, 2 hoppers and a dropper. So, wood. There it is. 3, 4 total wood makes 2 chests. And then go ahead and, nope, that's the iron. We'll use the aluminum. There we go. Get me the 2 hoppers. Put the rest of the aluminum back in there for now. And then I need the dropper. There we go, just one of those. And now I can go for the item valve. There we go. That's going to let me automate everything I think that I want to do. let me just get a check. Actually, I don't need a chest to actually put the materials in. Grab that, bring it down here, and let's get this installed. So, I want the emitter, the redstone emitter, to be right here in between these two furnaces, because that way I can set it up to affect both of the furnaces without having to have more than one piece of cable. The next thing I'm going to need to do is I actually have to, since this needs to be connected with the Steve's cable, I'm going to go ahead and break these out. Let's see here. Hopefully I have enough cable pieces. So got to have a cable there, because the special parts don't actually act as a cable themselves, so you have to, there we go, connect them with another cable. Let's remove this floor real quick, and you may have noticed when I came down here, I did a little bit of beautification. I made the walls into these nice cement block looking bricks and the floor into these nice tiles, and that gave me a whole bunch more dust that I'm able to go ahead and sift out for more materials. So that's double bonus. So there we go. The factory manager itself, I'm actually going to sit right there. That looks good. Yes. So the factory manager itself is going to sit there. I'm going to have another piece of cable there to connect it to those two devices over there. Then I want to remove that piece right there and put the item valves right here facing this direction. Whoops, no, I don't want it facing up. I actually want it, oh, I'm going to have to get in there for a second. Dang it, I want it to face, why is it going to face up? I don't want it to face up. Here, let me just break these out for a second, see if maybe if I get a better angle on it this way like this, if I can get it to go, there we go, now it's facing the right direction. I want it to face the pool of acid, because when it spits out an item, and that's one of the things it can possibly do, it can spit items out if items are sent to it. When it spits out an item, I want it to end up in that pool of acid. That should pretty much do that. So, okay, and then the chest that I brought down, I'm actually going to end up setting, well, I could set it there. No, not there. Definitely not there. That's too far away. It needs to be connected to one of the cables. See if I can get that back out of there. Come here. Come here, chest. No. No. I'm going to have to break stuff to get to it. Whoops. Okay, there we go. We can fill that back in now. Uh-oh, I need water. I do. Let me go fix... Oh, I'm actually very low. Down to 65% hydration there. I should have done that before I started my recording, but I'm good at kind of not paying attention to that. Really good at that. There we go. That's gonna kind of drain down relatively fast to get me back up. So I want to end up having to refill it again here real soon. Okay, so let's see. I want this chest to sit there. There we go. I can open it up from there. No problem. I can still access the inventory. I could have set the chest right on top of the inventory manager. Still would have been able to open the manager interface. And there's what the manager interface looks like before we have any programming into it. So let's go about. There's one more thing I need to do here. I need to put a piece of redstone. Well, actually, I have the redstone. Excellent. I need to put that on that receiver like that. Now, the reason for that is because this emits a signal, but it doesn't emit it straight down, or I could have just put this underneath. It emits it to the side, to the, I think it's might be all sides, you know, all four sides around it. But you can see now that the redstone right there has a power level of 4, and that's because this is at just over 2, but it's not to 2.5. Once it gets to 2.5, the power level will go up to 5 on that redstone. So that's going to make it really easy for me to automate these now, because now I can say, first I'm going to create a trigger. Let's see if I can walk through this and kind of make it make sense for everybody. The trigger is basically how often it it does whatever it's supposed to do. So my trigger is just an interval of 1 second. So once a second, it's going to attempt to go through the program loop, which is going to be to do some redstone conditionals. Actually, I need a redstone conditional, not a regular conditional. So if we come down here, we see redstone conditional. And then in the redstone conditional, we're going to look at the redstone receiver. We're going to look at just the top. And we're going to look at the strength of the signal. So if the strength of the signal is, let's see, 4.5 times 2, well, so let's say if it's 8, anywhere between 8 and 15. So if it's below 8 and 15, if that signal is at 8, that condition is going to be true. So right now the condition would be false. So what we want to do with that condition is make two circumstances. We're going to change the way the emitter is working based on that. So the emitter, we're going to need to do one emitter function for true and one emitter function for false. So we need two emitter functions. So if it is false, we want the left, let's see, that would be the north and the south side of this redstone emitter to emit some power in order to turn on the compressors. So if it is false, that'll be this side over here. So we're going to say this redstone emitter, we only need to do the north and the south sides. We can use the weak power, that's fine. The output strength of 15 is also fine. Don't need to change anything there, and we don't need to do anything with the pulse. So what we need to do next, so that's that, is we need to create the condition for when it turns true. So when it turns true, when it reaches 8 in this power level up here, we want this to actually turn off. We want the redstone signal from these redstone emitter, and we want the we can just leave all sides, and it doesn't really matter about the power setting, because what we're going to do for the output now is change them all to 0. So that's going to be off. So that's going to be when it's true, and this one's going to be when it's false. So now if we go there and we look, we can see that it's now emitting a signal and turned on the air compressors. So if we watch this for a little bit, it's going to be kind of slow. So maybe I don't want to mess with it. Once you do that part, you kind of don't want to mess with it, because it can mess up the true-false settings, and if it suddenly doesn't. Anyway, I've had them blow up on me once I messed with them. It's kind of touchy. So if you mess with the program midstream, like once you actually get it working, like right now, it should be working. So if I just wait for that to get up to 4, it should turn these signals off, and it should stop around somewhere between 4 and 4.5. Because remember, it's going to use up whatever fuel it has in there until, once that signal goes away, it's still going to burn off whatever fuel it has in there. So it's going to go a little bit above 4, but it's going to stop before 4.5. It should anyway. So let's go ahead and start the next part of the signals, or next part of this program, which is actually going to be completely separate from this, but I want it still to use that same trigger because I don't need a second trigger. So if I come in here and I go create a flow, what I want to do is I want to split that trigger so that it does two separate things. So I'm going to go split the output. So this one is eventually going to do both of these condition and emitter things here. So let's just move this stuff down a little bit here, kind of get it out of my way a little bit. And this is eventually going to go about right there, so that's fine. The other thing I want it to do, I want it to create an input. No, this is right. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is actually I should change this to split 5 ways. I'm not going to use all of those. I actually think I'm only going to use about 3 of them for the time being. I might come back and change it later, but I need 2 inputs actually and 2 outputs. Now what these are going to do is I'm going to set these up to move items around between the chest and this item valve. So let's check on this how it works. See, we're almost up to 4. This is now at power level 7, and you should see as soon as it gets to power level 8, which is going to be like right after it reaches 4 bars, the redstone signal, here you go, see it shut off. You see the sides change colors, it's no longer emitting any power, and these will then stop. There they go, they stopped. Excellent. So right now I have a automatic system that'll keep the power level, or the pressure level, somewhere between 4 and 4.5 with the 2 air compressors. So that is working splendidly. Let's move on to this now. So this input is going to be from the chest, and I'm going to look for. Now I have to tell what side to target. Usually I just I usually just use the down side because that's the side that this cable is actually connected to. It doesn't matter when we're talking about a chest, but like for a vanilla furnace or something like that, the side would be important. You can have the cable connected to any side, but you can also, and then you can tell that cable to target whatever side you want when it puts items in or takes items out. So we are taking items out of the chest, right? Yes, because this is an input. It's an input into the cable system from that chest. And then the target, like I said, doesn't matter so much on a chest, but then items. I want to whitelist a particular item here. I'm looking for empty PCBs. So what I'm looking for is this PCB right here, the one that has the 100% chance, if I throw it into acid, for it to turn into a unassembled PCB later. So that's what I'm looking for. When it finds that, I want it to output that to the item valve. Okay. The item valve, I don't think it matters what side, but let's tell it I want it to go to the east side. And just to make sure that it ends up coming out the side that I want there. Hopefully, I don't know that that makes a difference. I'm pretty sure it just comes out the side with a dot on it. Which is kind of why I say that. I don't need to worry about the items, whitelist or blacklist, because it's already done in the input. So there we go. Now, for this input, I'm going to be checking the item valve because the item valve does have an inventory. The items valve inventory is everything that's an item entity in the immediate area around it. So anything that's in that pool is going to be part of the items valve's inventory. Oh, actually, there we go. And so item valve, I'm going to target, again, I'm going to say the east side. I don't think that matters any, but then I'm going to whitelist, and again, it's going to be a PCB, but this time I want the unassembled PCB. This would be the one that would be finished in the acid. So that would be the fully etched item. There we go. And then the output is going to be put back in the chest. Again, target the downside of the chest. Don't think that matters. And again, I don't need to worry about the whitelist, blacklist here because that's already taken care of in the input. So connect that up. Now I can connect this to here, this to here, that there, and that there. Hopefully that didn't interrupt this program over here, this part of the program. Doesn't look like it did. So I think I'm good there. Now, here's the big test. So if I go over here and I grab some empty PCBs, and I go ahead and put these guys in this chest, see what happens here in a second. Does anything happen? Does not appear to be doing anything. Okay. Oh, you know why? Because these have not been exposed in the UV box. I haven't done that yet. So here we go. We'll put them in here. Oh, there's one in there. Good. There's one in there, so... See, and now I have the opportunity here to actually... Well, I'd have to bring a cable up and attach to the side of this UV box. But I could automate this UV box into the system and allow it to go ahead and pull in and out of that. Now, this is going to be using up a little bit of air pressure, so pretty soon, in a second, this should kick on as soon as it drops below 4 again. We're looking here. It's going to take a little while because I don't have any speed upgrades or anything like that in there yet, so But now I have one of these empty PCBs to test the system with. If I throw that in there, there you go. See, it spit it out into the acid. Now the only thing to do is to basically just sit here and wait. So through the magic of editing, in a second you'll see it suck it back in. Actually, heck with that editing. I think I have another way to really just demonstrate that it's going to work. Because over here I have an unassembled PCB. So I can just toss this over here anywhere, like that, and it should, and in just a moment, there it goes. It disappeared and put it back in the chest. So there we go. I verified that it is going to work. Now the only thing I need to make sure of really is that the time that it takes for it to actually etch that is much less than the time it takes for it to despawn. So since the system is checking once a second to see if it is ready, if I end up with another unassembled PCB in here, then I know I'm fine as far as the amount of time it takes for it to etch compared to the time it takes for it to despawn. And I'm pretty sure that it's less, so I don't think I need to actually pull it out of there. I just have to wait. So there we go. But yeah, that verifies that it definitely does work. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm just going to let it go and I'll come back to it later. So now the only thing to do is kind of just wait for this to finish up making the next one and go ahead and put these extra ones away. The other thing that I can do is I can go ahead and assemble one of these. There we go. Printed circuit boards. That is great. That actually brings me back to a quest. So if I look in here, back to the basic survival, now I finally have my printed circuit board. And the other thing I need is plastic sheets. You remember the rubber tree sapling I got the other day sifting dirt? Well, here's where this is going to come in. It's going to come into this, in the sense of, or in the, it's going to give me the ability to finish that quest, and then it's also going to do another really awesome thing for me. Now that I've automated that down there a little bit, you know what else I need to automate is collecting this mob drops and stuff. I need to automate that a little bit. So let's see if we can't do both with this. Just need some bone meal, which I have. I have the bone meal. And then I'll grow a few of these trees. Oh boy. You know what I might want to do? Since I only got this one rubber tree, I might want to get this bone cookout. Just to be safe that I absolutely get at least one sapling out of this tree. You see already some of the leaves are starting to dry out. Which is a normal thing for rubber trees apparently now. I don't really get it. The dried leaves you really can't use for anything if you end up shearing them, so this is probably a good way to go ahead and get some rubber saplings real quick. Okay, and then I can cut this tree down now safely because I think I got 6 saplings from it. That's actually pretty good. And I ended up getting 2 silkworms. Wow. Not bad at all. And I'm out of water again, so let me just go deal with that real quick again. Look, I'm already down to 80%, so yes, if you're not paying attention, you can dehydrate real quick. And fix this up again. Fill it all the way up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab me an extra bottle there for, like, once I get back up to 100% there, then I'm probably going to be ready for another bottle again already. So I think I can go ahead and cut this guy down. And what I'm going to do is just come over here, plant another one. And cut and chop it. There we go. Chop it. Just trying to get a bunch of rubber real fast. I'll let these leaves pretty much deteriorate on their own. And I'll come back and get some rubber saplings from them here in a moment. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do that. There we go. Very nice. Put one right out here. And they're starting to drop rubber saplings already. There we go. It's a decent amount of rubber. How much did I get? 45? Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Good enough, anyway. Let me jump back inside here. Go ahead and toss that rubber in here. And pick up a few more saplings that have ended up on the ground. Nice, not bad. Okay, I'm up to 9 saplings. What I want to do right now is go ahead and put a few saplings in my backup emergency supplies over here. And just do that. And get some, take some of this dust. That's not dust. I have stone here. Stone and cobblestone and wood. I want to take some of this dust up and go ahead and refill the sifting system up here and check on its progress, see how much materials I have right now. Actually, it's backed up. That's good that I come up to look then. So let me grab some of this stuff out. I have chests, or I have barrels for. There we go. How much? Not as much iron as I'd like to have. Of course, and it has been mentioned that you do get a lot more iron out of gravel, which I am aware of, but I just don't like making gravel by hand. It's a pain in the button. Although really soon, maybe not this episode, but really soon I'll have a pulverizer system set up producing gravel and sand for me to sift. So let me put these things away that I can. There we go. The other thing I made, I think I made this off camera, I didn't really talk about it too much. I have a trash can in here. And that's just so I can immediately toss things away and, you know, that I don't need when I have a bunch of extra of or whatever. Especially like those rocks, because I have more than enough cobble now for anything that I will want to do. And I want to plant another rubber tree or two out here. I'm actually going to go rubber tree, put one there, one there. Sure, why not? There and there and there and there. Because I'm going to need a bunch more rubber in the long run. Might as well get it. And go ahead and eat one of my cheeseburger deluxes. And let's see, there's the rubber. Except before I can actually use this for the plastic, I have to turn the rubber into plastic. So there we go. Get enough of that. I think I only need like one sheet. Yes, I only need one sheet to complete this reward, and then I'm going to get some iron dust. And I'm definitely going to be picking the slime plant, because I don't need the redstone. I already got a rubber tree seed, so the slime plant is definitely the best choice for me at this stage. So 2 more pieces of plastic, and I can actually make some plastic sheets then. And I could have used the plastic from the pressure craft stuff. I could use those plastic sheets in order to make these, because they're ore dictionaried with them in this mod pack, but I would rather just save that stuff. There we go. And then that's going to complete this quest. Excellent. Of course I want that slime plant. That's going to do a couple of things for me. One, it gives me access to the brown plastic for stuff, and it also gives me access to slimes to go ahead and make slime balls for like sticky pistons and some other things that you might need to use slime balls to craft. And then, yeah, these guys actually can drop more seeds occasionally too. There we go. And I got me a few slime balls. And some more seeds. Excellent. The only thing is you don't want to like leave these just going kind of on their own, because they will just produce slimes out in your courtyard all the time that will come and bother you. So I'm going to let them go for now, but I probably won't leave them out there on a permanent basis. Once I have a few build up, And I probably could just go ahead and do that, is just get a whole bunch of round ones and then put them away, and just remember that before I use them all up to make some more. But now I got a bunch of iron blocks that I can put in the smelter here in a second, and I want to do that with these over here too. Go ahead and grab this iron, and probably want to go ahead, how much iron do I have here? 28 broken iron. I think that's actually enough to do. Might actually be worth processing, but I definitely want to break it down to get the most out of it. Whoops. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. I increased one whole block. So yeah, that was very much worth it. An extra 3 ingots there, at least. Let's see what I get total now. Not bad, 38 blocks total, and then that's going to be times 3 because I'm putting it in here. Let's mix that up, and I'm going to get a bunch of iron out of this, or I mean steel out of this too, and that's going to play into one of the things one of the major things I want to build is I want to get straight into building a big reactor right off the bat. You know, and that's going to take a lot of steel. It's going to take a lot of computer parts and stuff. Fortunately, I got this stuff all set up. So okay, it's not in there. Is it in here? Look, there it is, unassembled PCB. So that's fully automated system. So that actually tells me two things. I'm not really going to need the whole assembly line thing for a long time because I have this little system right here that I can leave unattended, and it will produce the unassembled PCBs. Now it's definitely not as fast as the assembly line, and I will get to that eventually, but it's not nearly as pressing for me now because now I can start building other machines that I want to build by getting some more of these ready to go. Now what I really do want to do is get the pulverizers and the power systems set up to run said pulverizers. I want to move all that stuff down here. I think it's going to be like somewhere right along here, seeing how the cobblestone is up there. And I don't think I'd actually have to keep the cobblestone up there, and I want to test something. I do want to test something, and we'll do that test before I wrap this episode up, I think. So the test that I want to do is I want to get this transfer node, grab that up with the mining upgrade, and there we go, I got it all. So I want to get that transfer node. I want to get a couple pieces of cobblestone, which I had a couple pieces of cobblestone that was in there. And yeah, I got this idea that I don't actually need the lava and the water. What if I just had a piece of cobblestone, right, with the transfer node on it and didn't have the lava and the water? Would it still do its thing? Doesn't look like it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does require the lava and the water on either side. Or to be nearby. We'll put it on top. Oh, I guess it would help if I put the mining upgrade in there. Give it a few seconds. Maybe it needs an inventory? I want to fully test this, so let me get let me go get the item pipe and an inventory to stick on there. Because if I can do it without having the lava and the water source right beside it, then I don't have to worry about heat as much in that general vicinity. So if I get the pipe and grab another chest, there we go, chest. Just test this out real quick. And let's see. Nothing in there yet. Actually, if I just do that, Don't even need the pipe. It's connected. Got the mining upgrades in there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident now after seeing this that you do actually need the lava source block and the water block beside it, the cobble, in order for it to be able to use it like that. So, okay, putting it back where it was at. Oh, it was a good idea. Yeah, it was a good thought. I didn't think it would be that easy, but you know, worth testing out. So, what is going to happen is this is going to end up staying up here. And feeding into this, probably feeding into this barrel, maybe. Might actually just take that barrel out of the equation and have the item transfer node. So, oh yeah, it's immediately mining cobblestone there. And take the transfer node out, or no, what I'm saying, take this barrel out of the equation, have that item transfer node send its cobblestone straight down into the first pulverizer. Because there's no reason to, because I'm trying to avoid using the item ducts as much as possible, and I think I'm going to try to pretty much go with the transfer pipes as much as possible this time through. That's they are supposed to be much nicer to the server processes, to the, I mean, even when you're running single player, you are still running a server. It's just right along with the client. So there we go. I got maybe 2 unassembled PCBs. This is a really excellent system. I'm really happy with this. Finally, not really going to get to do the whole thing right now, but I want to show you what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to do this off camera between episodes. Is that rubber? Let's see. Actually, there's plastic. I need rubber. Let me start processing some more rubber, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some where is it? Conveyor belts. Conveyor belts, which are relatively cheap. A piece of iron, 2 pieces of redstone, some rubber, and I pretty much don't have to worry about rubber now. I'm going to have a ton of rubber coming off these trees. Iron, you know, is a little bit of a commodity, and I have a decent amount of redstone right now, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But I'm going to go ahead and take the conveyor belts, and I'm going to lay it down in the trench that's out there, so that I can push all of the mobs around to one side and have all the mob drops end up being in one place, and then just suck them all up with a vacuum, or not a vacuum hopper, but a regular old hopper, and hopper them into a chest inside for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to explain it, and then next episode I will show you that first off. So let's see, how are we doing here? We're getting some steel. That's good. Good. Oh, it's done with whatever it was doing. Steel in there. Okay, so yeah, there's a little bit more iron going to be coming out of there. Good. I'll have plenty of iron to make the conveyor belts, and you actually get quite a lot of conveyor belts for that one recipe. So 16. I probably only had to make this like maybe 6 to 8 times in order to have enough conveyor belts to go all the way around the outside perimeter in that trench. The other thing is, I think I get some from a quest in here if I back up for a second. Oh, look, I have a couple extra new quests open to me. Purified. If I give a water bottle, I can get a cold water bottle. Huh. Well, let me just go ahead and do that real quick. May as well get another quest done this episode. Annual submit. Claim my reward and get some bottles too. And a cold water bottle, which I'm going to just drink because I don't really need it that bad. And I do need water to go in my camel pack right now because it's totally empty. Again. It's probably a good indication that I'm over my time. And let's look again real quick. Getting chilly. We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that for another for the next episode, because that gets into getting some snow. Then I get to make a glacial precipitator to actually continue to make snow, which I will need for some things down the line. Power undertaking, so I need to make an ender generator, which I probably don't have nearly the materials to make, so look at that real quick. I'm pretty sure it requires a lot more ender pearls than I have. Ender generator. Oh yeah, I don't have nearly enough ender pearls for that, so that's going to be a challenge. A real challenge, because I had to get out there and kill some endermen, and they're rare and kind of hard to kill, so and then get the material that they drop, because they're going to be surrounded by mobs out there. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, be sure and leave a like and a comment. Always greatly appreciated. If you didn't like it, or found that I could do something better, or you thought I could do something better, go ahead and let me know in a comment, and I will catch you later.